It's Joker here! Time for a Joker's deck profile! Today we're actually doing something that I've been wanting to do for. That would be my beautiful aqua deck. It's not Maelstrom, but yet it's not really what most people would want to see for aqua. This is pretty much my version of just wanting to be a jerk without being Maelstrom. So, without a further ado, let's start the deck profile. So, obviously we're going to have our Blow Bubble Draco Kid as our starter. Nothing is really better than him, especially with how this deck works. So, we'll start with our grade 3s. We play 4 of Diamantes. I'd rather see him than Maelstrom currently because I just don't want to be on that hype train on Maelstrom pretty much. I've always played Diamantes. I've tried Diamantes and Favis. Didn't like it. It was too slow for my playstyle. So I chose Diamantes as the main grade 3 and Hydro, Hurricane, Dragon as well. I see Hurricane more as an essential now since there's a lot of cards that are really annoying. Like, for instance, Rinku's cards that get me really angry. His blaster blades and such. Pop this on the field, get rid of one. So that's the reason why it's there, for those pesky cards. And he has his first effect is Vanguard or Rearguard. So, if you have whatever card that allows you to bring a whatever card from the top 7 or whatever, get him from the top 7 if he's there, and get rid of a pesky card. So that's it for the grade 3s. I thought they were grade 4s for a second. On to the grade 2s. So, I'm still testing out the grade 2s. I wish they could be a little bit better, but for as what we have right now, I think it's as good as it can be. As Rinku says in his videos, we are open up to suggestions for our decks. If you think that you have an idea for one of our decks, you can just come up to us, put it in the comments or whatever, and you can give us your input. So, I only play one of Sableflow Sailor. Rinku gave me this idea that the reason why he keeps beating me with his Aqua Force deck is because of this card right here. And he is behind the camera nodding at me and looking at me. So, that is saying a lot. So, she's only played out one. I don't really have enough room to put another one in. So, normally when I see her, I need her. When I don't need her, I never see her. So, she's there to be there when I need her. That's about it for her. I play 3 Coral Assaults. I know what you're saying. Joker, why are you playing 3? It's too good. Well, with how I play, I feel like certain cards are too clunky with my playstyle. And Coral Assault kind of had to get moved down for a grade, if I remember, grade 1 to make it so much better for me. Oopsie, got the Coral Tidal Assault. But he is always on my field when I win the game. Because he gets too broken no matter what I do. Especially when you're playing Alexandros. He gets really broken really quickly. So, that's why I play him at 3. Next, we play the lovely Algos at 4. Algos is a staple at 4 for standard and premium. If I remember. Right? Yep, Joker. Rinku's nodding at me behind the camera. So, we all know what he does. He's a pesky grade 2, if you're playing against it. And he's just very fun for how this deck runs. Normally, if you have the ability to bring him out, bring him out. If you don't, I guess you have to work around what you have. He does make things happen more quickly with this deck. So that's about it for him. Then the last grade 2 is obviously going to be the G era Tidal Assault. I think it's V era, right? V era's Tidal Assault is not good for this deck. You want to save your resources as much as possible in this deck. If you can't save resources, you're gonna get slammed. I've had that happen to me so many times by Rinku, because he always has way more counterblast and he freaking destroys me. So, with this having no cost whatsoever to stand besides losing its 5k, it's a free, pretty much stand, and it's early game pushing. So that's it for the grade 2s. The grade 1s, they're kind of out there, but you'll understand why. I play 3 Battle Sirens, Liviana. She's come in handy so many times that I cannot explain how much it took for me to actually decide to put her in until I actually realized how good she was for the deck. This is an on-hit effect, so if you don't like on-hit effects, don't play her. But she is good for early game, because sometimes people don't want to waste their cards early game because, hey, it's an on-a-hit effect. What does it do? Oh, you just push this into soul and you draw a card if it's the 3rd battle. So more than likely, she will be there when you have a Tidal Assault, and an Algos. That's the only time she's really good besides when you have Alexandros. So she might get put down to 2 at some point, but for now, she is at 3. Then we have Calm Assault. Calm Assault is there for when your unit attacks, pretty much. It pretty much gives that unit until the end of that battle 5k. I usually don't use it for the effect. The only time I use it for the effect if I'm going for game. And normally, I don't use it because I'm already overpowered with the amount of strides I have face up. So he's just an extra 5k. Obviously, if it's the 4th battle. Then we play Wheel Assault at 3. Rinku kinda was questioning my reasons behind having 3 Coral Assault and 3 Wheel Assault earlier when we were going through my deck. I'm not sure why he was questioning me about it, but it's just how I like it. Like, this is one of the cards that pretty much allow you to bring out Hydro quicker. Because of his effect, you pretty much spam Hydro just to get a pesky card. Say if you're playing Premium, if they have a pesky Forerunner, you can just use his effect, bring out Hydro, use his effect to pop it. And there you go, that pesky Forerunner is gone. Especially with cards like Pale Moon being a thing and such. That nice Pale Moon unit that pushes everything to the soul. Get rid of it if you can. So that's the reason why he's at 3. I don't really like seeing a lot of him. I only play 2 Stride Enablers. 2 Stride Enablers, it used to be 4, but I cut it down to 2 to add more cards to the grade 2s and 1s. And most of the time, if I'm in a pinch, or if I have 2 of the same grade 3s, I'll Progenitor Dragon. So that's why they're at 2. And last but not least, Storm Rider Nikolaz. Another thing that Rinku was questioning me about is, why am I only playing him at 2? I see him way too much in my build at 4. Every time that I wanted something actually good, I got him. And I'm already past my grade 2. So he was put down to only 2, but he still appears a lot in my deck. So that's it about for the grade 1s. The grade 0s is obviously the bubble guy. I play 4 fronts in the deck. Obviously, when you play this deck and you're an Excel clan, fronts do help. Especially when they get somehow a lot of power to the Vanguard from trigger effects. Fronts help. And it makes them guard more. That's how I see it anyways. Then we have, obviously, 4 heal triggers for those lovely G-Guardians. We play 3 of the crit that gives you plus 10k and a draw. Because why not? More cards, more power. And we play 4 draw that are the PG. Obviously, drawing is needed a lot for this deck. So, obviously I'm going to use the draw trigger PG. And it's much easier for you to get whatever you need if any case happens. When you need a trigger, you know you're out of heals, crits, or fronts, and all you know that's left in your deck is draw triggers. You know you're going to draw, and you know you're going to have a PG. A 2 and 1 plus for me. So that's it for the main deck. Now we're on to the really long and boring part of the video. The strides. So, as we all know, Aqua Force has some really cool strides. 2 of the coolest strides that I know of and play are the Blue Wave Armored General. She is very fun for when you want Alexandros and flip anything up. You flip her up, she can flip herself down with a Soul Blast, if I remember. So, easy plus 5k. And then some. Then we have the Blue Storm Dragon, Ice Barrier Dragon, whatever the heck his full name is. Pretty much my Trish in the deck, if anyone knows how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So, he's another card that is very helpful, only in certain situations. Like, these cards have wave to them. So, you have to keep track of your opponent's attacking step. So, they get power and other effects depending on what attack there is for your opponent. If they're only attacking with their Vanguard, it's only wave 1. So you have to keep track of how many times they have attacked in their turn. So that's why these are here. Our last G-Guardian is General Leader of Sky and Water. He gives your units resist. He is the lifesaver of this deck, especially when you want to keep your Tidal Assault on board. And plus, he gets 5k for each one of them units that was chosen. So that's it for the G-Guards. I just realized my G-Guards are, my G-Zone's all messed up again. So we play, obviously, 1 Progenitor Dragon, free stride ability, and you get to be one of those people that say, nope, I'm using the effect. Obviously, this card does not affect PGs, so if a PG is thrown down, do not use the effect, because no matter what, it's going to be guarded. If they're trying to guard with 20k or whatever, use the effect to just get rid of one of the cards, a grade 1 I believe, from your hand. And there you go, get the guard again. More and more. So it's only there for a one-time thing. What are my others? The rising star of the deck is obviously Alexandros. Alexandros is your first stride, your second stride, your third stride, your fourth stride. If you don't win by the second stride, what are you doing with your life? And Rinku is laughing behind the camera at it. Because he's always told me that if it's not your first, your second, you're doing something wrong. So, he makes the deck really broken. And another cool little tidbit about this card, if you play Tidal Assault with him, you don't use Tidal Assault's effect right away. Alright? You attack with Tidal Assault, if you have another one, if you have all 4 Tidal Assaults on the field, you're golden. So, you have 2 Excel markers on the front, or if you have all 4, congratulations, you're really broken. You have all 4 Tidal Assaults on the field, you restood 2 of them, and the other ones didn't restand, you use him. If I had stand this deck, this would be even more broken, but stands are outdated for this type of deck, because it needs a lot of push. So, you restand them, and they attack, and then they could restand themselves with their own effect, and he still got the power. So, that's a little hint from me, so you understand how I play the deck in weird ways. Now for everything else that doesn't matter in the deck. I play 2 Marine General of Heavenly Silk, Lambros, never gone into it. I've always killed someone on the second stride with Alexandros. If I do go into him, then there must be something wrong. Then we have Velos. Velos Revive. It's very, very rare that I make this my first stride, because if I don't have the rear guards to do anything, I'll just use him so I can just get my GB. Now, this may seem awkward, but I play Storm Dominator Commander Thavis, because Thavis is my boo in Aqua Force. I love my Thavis, and I've tried countless times to try and incorporate him into my Aqua Force build, but this is the only way I found that he would be good enough. But I never go into him, just like the others, so he's just there just in case I need him. So, if you know of any other way to make my Aqua Force deck more of a bothersome, whatever you want to call it, just let us know in the comments, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. I'm Jokerz, signing off. See you guys!